It is quite likely that these new cell phones will be the ones to feature the best cameras of the year. We are referring to the new Vivo X300 and X300 Pro models, which have just been officially launched worldwide following their initial debut in China. Nonetheless, they come with a few changes that haven't been very well received. This manufacturer has indeed made significant alterations between the Chinese version and the global version, so it is important to pay close attention to these differences. Let's start with the Vivo X300. As for its design, it maintains its compact body of 6.31 inches with a weight of 190 grams and a thickness of 7.95 millimeters, in addition to also maintaining the resistance IP68 and also IP69. The display features a 6.3 1-inch LTPO AMOLED panel. It offers a 1.5K resolution and a 120 Hz refresh rate with an ultrasonic fingerprint reader integrated beneath it. In terms of sound, it includes stereo speakers. The front camera boasts 50 megapixels and an f2.0 aperture. Regarding the rear cameras, we will discover the main one featuring the Zeiss brand boasting 200 megapixels. Additionally, there is a Zeiss telephoto lens known as APO, which offers 50 megapixels along with an optical zoom of 3x and an aperture of f2.57. By integrating a high-resolution sensor in this lens, we can achieve up to 6x zoom without quality loss even with digital zoom. Additionally, there's a 50 megapixel Zeiss ultra-wide-angle lens with an f2.0 aperture. Now, regarding the battery, the global version has a capacity of 5,360 mAh, which is significantly less than the 6,040 mAh of the Chinese version. Charging capabilities remain impressive with 90 watts for wire charging and 40 watts for wireless charging. As for the software, we have Origin OS, which is based on Android 16. This is actually great news because it seems like they are finally adopting a new software approach. In the past, Vivo launched its global devices with a much simpler software layer, which didn't have as many features or as appealing aesthetics. Now, with the implementation of Origin Dark, it will definitely appear more attractive and be more useful for users in their daily lives. The performance is powered by the MediaTek Dimensity 9500, making it a very capable processor. However, it doesn't quite match the power of Qualcomm's flagship processor. We could say that in this regard, they are quite similar to the flagship devices that Oppo has launched recently. It appears that Chinese manufacturers are reserving the Snapdragon version exclusively for their Ultra variants, which are the most powerful and come with the fully integrated top camera system. So let me know your opinion in the comments about this strategy. The price is another major difference between the Chinese and global versions as expected. The global version with 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage costs 1,049 euros, but remember, prices differ from there. Obviously, the global version has gone up in price compared to the Chinese version, but well, that's something we all, I insist, already expected because it always happens. For its part, the Vivo X300 Pro arrives with a design of 6.78 inches, 226 grams of weight and 7.999 millimeters thick. Also with IP68 and IP69, the display is 6.78 inches AMOLED LTPO with 1.5K resolution and 120 Hz. There is also stereo sound. The front camera integrates a 50 megapixel Samsung JN1 sensor with autofocus and f2.0 aperture. Here, because the built-in sensor for the front camera other manufacturers incorporated, for example, in the ultra-wide camera, so it seems to be an interesting decision. The rear camera system is truly the highlight, featuring a main Sony IMX828 sensor with 50 megapixels and an f1.57 aperture. There's also a 50 megapixel wide-angle camera using the Samsung JN1 sensor, which is interestingly the same sensor used for the front camera. Lastly, there's the remarkable telephoto camera, which includes the new Samsung ISOCELL HPB sensor with 200 megapixels and a size of 1/1. 4 inches, paired with a lens aperture of f2.67 and optical zoom of 3.5x. I believe it's excellent because it provides a strong aperture and optical zoom. Even though it's not common, the 200 megapixel sensor will likely enable up to 10x digital zoom with optical quality for photos. However, we need to see how well it's optimized for video, as zoom quality in video can often be less impressive. We'll be checking if we can conduct a full review. The battery experiences a significant reduction, decreasing from 6,510 mAh in the Chinese version to 5,440 mAh in the global version. This is quite disappointing and rather unusual, as some suggested it was due to certain restrictions or regulations. However, we've observed that Oppo managed to maintain the same capacity for its Chinese variants in the global version, which undoubtedly remains its most appealing feature. For some reason, Vivo has decided to decrease this capacity for the global version. The charging still remains at 90 watts when wired and 40 watts for wireless charging. It also comes with Origin OS and features the same MediaTek Dimensity 9500 processor. The global price is €1,399 for the version that includes 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Remember, prices here are different from those over there. With this battery cut and practically doubling the price, do you think Vivo is making a mistake, or do you think there are going to be attractive devices?